Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Wildermyth. So, in the last episode, we actually sent both of our parties out to kind of go clear some tiles, and they were largely successful. We got some good new items, and Falalina got her mind invaded. So, for whatever that's worth, it was interesting though. It was interesting, and I think what we're gonna do today is we're going to send our party of 4, Zura's 4, as they're aptly known, to the Bluff of Evenland. And I kind of want to hit the Elmroot Timberland as well, but I'm not really sure if I want to do that just yet. I kind of want to keep everyone together just for the time being. So let's send these guys out here. And we did just reveal Even's Brave Bluff. So why don't we, while these guys are over here scouting, why don't we jump right on in and see what's going here? What would you do, Dungeon, if you found your heart racing at the thought of another? Someone you stood beside through danger, and then... This is Mornmeyer. What would I do? Probably nothing. If it's meant to be, then they'll probably let you know, right? Oh, actually that was Norzad. Interesting. Shh, stop mumbling for a second. You hear that? Says Mornmeyer. Hushed voices and careful footfalls approach down the overgrown path. To Mornmeyer's ears, even these muffled noises are perfectly loud. He's a trained killer. Come forward, strangers. If you're friendly, come forward slowly. Silence, perhaps a minute of it, is all the answer that emerges from a thick wall of brush. Then... Shilbert, you dolt. They're not fooled by this. We can always offer money. Yes, mistress. Should I offer myself? Introduce us. We can hear you. Oh there. Oh? Come on out there. You're caught anyway. You look like experienced whatever you are. Bandits? Rogues? Not hounding for captives, I hope. Well. Oh, move it, you fool. Why do I let you talk to people? Says the mysterious voice. Sorry, mistress. Here, take my arm. A pair of travelers clambers free of the bracken, their clothing fine but a tad filthy. Hello, strangers. I'm Shilbert, servant and apprentice to these prestigious and lovely women, who, well, perhaps we shouldn't use your real name. That's Junma Church. Oops, he knows your real name. And why wouldn't he? Junma, the dream chanter, poet and peerless singer, impossible to turn away an ear when she's plucking strings, spinning yarns, deploying her famous vowels. Well, you don't seem like a threat. Come sit by the fire. We're not in any kind of bad business. Dungeon. By the fire sounds grand, mistress. The small camp settles a little awkwardly. Introductions go round. Shortly thereafter, Norzad can't help himself. He bends Junma's ear. Nowadays, it's all tickle rhymes and Mary Bloom bops. Stuff so saccharine it makes me vomit. It's the old stories, the true poetry. Those are things that matter, always have. I was there when you sang the Star Sailors in Misty Bottom. Flawless. I heard about your rendition in Wadshan, and spoken for an audience of craftspeople. Not a dry eye, they said. Yes, I remember those days. I try not to miss them. Oh, mistress, you don't need to say it. I do, though. Just that nothing lasts forever. Bad fever took my lofty registers from me, my volume. Performance is such a physical thing. Most forget that. I'm weak nowadays. I lean on him, my student, Shilbert there. I would love to show that gift to you again, but it's gone now. Only the memory remains. Why not try a small song, even if it's quiet? Even if you just a shadow of you, we'd like it, says Dungeon. Okay. Interesting. So Mornmeyer is so we have it looks like a chance here. It's been a few years, or we could see if Mornmeyer antagonizing the poor apprentice there would work. I think we're gonna see if we can entertain our group of Rowdy Ragtag adventurers with a more experienced voice here, and we're gonna take the chance. So we'll see if they like it. Junma Church, the dream chanter, pulls her instrument from its case. A hum collects in her throat, then ebbs, then rises again, spilling between pitches, and stops. Don't strain yourself, mistress, says Shilbert. It's a good night, I think. I may have a few verses in me. First, she moves her fingers over the strings of the mandolin. Great rings of sound, chords entwining threads. Oh, it's a mandolute. Okay. The melody hangs and wobbles and winds around the ear. It curls in the heart like an old dog, returning. My father wrote this for me. It was my first song. Next, she begins to sing. I sit inside the wind, the moon looks down on me. The places that I've been all linger distantly. I'm here for you, whenever you need me. I'm here to see that someday you don't. You'll find me in a tree, if a tree is there to find. Stand tall or on your knees, a tree will treat you kind. Though I'm here for you when you don't want me, I'm here for you in case someday you do. Her voice is sheer as gauze. It yields the slight sigh of a breeze, but it persists, trembling strong. It's beautiful. I wish mine was too. Suddenly, an unpleasant strick closes her mouth. She swallows. Appears to be fighting a cough. Unshed tears are star-bright in the firelight. Are you... Mistress? But she shakes her head. Her fingers repair the halted tune. Now I live in smoke. The clouds and cliffs my bed. The weird and rippling water bends around your head. Night comes along like a stray with a song. Ask me to travel on, but I'll wait until you're sleeping. That was my father's lullaby, says Junma. It's not written down, is it? My life, I know, has been blessed. The night before the fight at Greenwrath Arcany passes quietly. Okay. Interesting interaction. So, it looks like we have something called a Stormthroat. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. So, all heroes gain +2 damage and potency for 3 turns. And it looks like we have 2 bards, 2 seekers, a Thrixled Weaver, and a Thrusk. And it also looks like we are pretty much surrounded. Let's see if we can't do anything with Mornmire here. Thankfully, he does give some bonuses. But, what can we do? What can we do? Do we have anything that might do a little bit of AoE damage? I'd like to take out as much as we can. I don't think, yeah, we can at least put some damage on both of these guys here. Although it would appear that did not happen. So we get a strike on him. Why don't we bring back Norzad over to here? We're gonna swap weapon, and we'll try and get a shot on this guy. Okay. And now for Dungeon. Dungeon, we'll see if he can take out this guy. There we go. And we'll send a good old Elmdrick over here and see if he can take out that bard. Alright, well that didn't go exactly as we had planned, but we got through it nonetheless. Alright. Let's get this door on open. And we will we'll put him right here. Got Sentinel, and we'll give him a nice little guard with Dungeon there as well. So let's bring Mornmire up. Give him some inspiration. And we'll bring Norzad up. Okay, looks like we're starting to uncover the remainder of the enemies here. So can we do anything with Mornmire's Interfusion? Would like to think so. So we can hit both of them. Let's try that. We got one blocked them. We might be able to take this guy out. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Can we? I don't believe we can Okay, we'll try and bring Dungeon up here. Can we engage with either of these? It looks like we can do that, so why don't we have Dungeon engage the Bard for right now, and then we'll send him into Guardian. We're gonna bring Elmdrick up and probably do a strike here. Okay, so I guess it was a good thing that we had him engage the Bard. Okay. A lot of things happening right now. Now, let's see if we can possibly take out the Seeker. Alright, so we did that. Now, we're going to try and send Elmdrick up and see if we can just outright, take this thing out. He has been doing quite well for us, guys. Alright. Send Dungeon over here, and then Mornmire, what can we do with you? Take that bookshelf and do a nice little Splinter Blast. Take you out. Perfect. Easy victory. Easy victory. We're showing off in front of the entertainer. That's what we're doing. Alright, now we got a cloak here. I kind of want to give this to Elmdrick. He could use a little bit more armor. Dungeon looks like he's doing quite well, but let's give it to him since we're constantly keeping him on the front line. It looks like we have a new enemy for the Thrixel. A new card is added. It's called a Scorler. I gotta say, I love the artwork in this game, guys. It's fantastic. It really is something. Alright, let's have them find an item here. Meanwhile, our party is scouting. Okay, so getting some materials here, and we got pauldrons. Pauldrons of Grace. And we did just give him the Grave Belt ones, of course, but we're also going to need Zurius to be a little bit tanky as well, because he seems to be more of the frontline warrior for that second party, so let's give him some dodge. Okay. Now, while these guys are over here, these guys are scouting, and I think we're going to have this party right here come and scout the last portion. Okay, so we've got some calamities that are popping up, and we do have 10 legacy points to see if we want to deal with any of them. I don't know what Mindworm is, but it sounds disgusting. But this is apparently a new creature, so I think we're gonna just leave this one be, because I'm curious. We're gonna take off Mindworm, and I don't like the corrupted trails, so we'll let that be for now. Okay. Well, let's watch our party do their thing. Alright, Bluff of Evenland has been revealed. It looks like we're going to be needing to do other things before we can interact with that. So, let's take our party here and have them scout on the side over here. Alright, so we have another infestation tile, and some of our guys are still a little bit hurt, so I think what we're going to do is we're going to just do some patrols here. We're going to have them patrol, and I'm actually going to have this party patrol as well once they get up over here and finish scouting. So let's see. It's a nice quick scout, actually. Okay. Yeah, let's do an assault here. All right. Now, keep in mind, guys, this is the story portion of the quest. So, the rain hasn't let up much through winter. The earth is soggy and stinking like a corpse. Hills have sunk, and dead mice float in flooded fields. People are moving towards the mountains. Going by Arnon's map, we're nearly there. I'll be brave, will you? Says Dungeon. Now's when we find out whether we've been too trusting, says Eldrick. I've heard it said to cut a noose is to gain a dangerous friend. The Gorgons are swarming these days, choking us, drowning us. The whole world is near its limit. Any chance may be the only chance. Looks like we've just encountered some more Gorgons. And it looks like we have quite a bit of raccoons as well as bogmore, so this could be a rough one for us, guys. Alright, well, let's start off by getting some damage out there. Might as well, right? Or maybe not. maybe not. What can we do? What can we do? How can we get some more? Alright, why don't we try and illuminate here? And we'll do steel fire. Perfect. And we'll just bring Dungeon right up front here. Same with Eldrick. Have him go Sentinel, have him go Guardian. Looks like they are calling him over. Alright, we need to give, or put Mordmeyer right here in the center. Mainly because we want him to give that inspiration bonus. Let's try and put a little bit of damage out. Now I don't think... Yeah, we can fuse with 2 additional targets. So I think we should probably do just that. That way it can give us a little bit of extra options. Yeah. And then what we'll do is we'll send out a guy over here. There we go, got a nice shot. And we're gonna keep Dungeon in Guardian and Eldrick in Sentinel. Kind of just doing a defensive line here. Now that true Gorgon is going to need to get taken out as soon as possible. I'm not quite sure what's going on over here, but it looks like Mordmeyer does need to get to work. So we got a pretty decent chance of doing some damage to all of these guys. Seems like a pretty darn good hit. Let's see if we can take out... I'm not sure if we can take out the bogmore, but we do need to get rid of these raccoons. We do need to do that. Okay, that was just enough damage there. We're gonna send Eldrick up over here, I think. Yeah, let's send him over here. And I think we're gonna try and see if we can take this guy out with Dungeon. Yeah. There we go, perfect. The reason why we swapped to Dungeon to do that is because we had actually gotten that sword on him. Now, if you remember, it is a AoE damage sword, so that's why all of those guys ended up falling down. But we're gonna put him into Guardian right now, and we're also gonna put Eldrick into Sentinel. And just for that reason right there. Got some good blocks out. It looks like Dungeon's getting pulled, and that is, again, perfectly fine. There we go. Got a nice strike here. And I think what we're going to try and do is... I don't know if we can actually do much with the interfusion here, but we're going to try. We're going to try. A little bit of damage. Perfect. And we might be able to get even more. Very nice. That actually went in our favor. And it looks like we did just achieve a level up. So we got the Moonwillow Brooch. I think what we're gonna do with the Moonwillow Brooch is I want to give it to one of our melee characters so that they get a little bit more speed. Now, Dungeon doesn't have the greatest speed because of his armor, if you can remember. But I also want to give it to somebody who also has a lot of speed, and that way we can start catching some more of those stone spirits. So I think we're going to actually give it to Norzad here. It may not be the best idea, but it is what it is. Okay, so what have we got here for Norzad? We have Jump Jaw. Twice per combat, as a swift action, Norzad throws a Jump Jaw trap that will deal 2 damage and pin the first enemy who walks near. We have Endurance, which is armor and warding, and then we have Tinker. Once per combat, as a swift action, Norzad grants 3 armor and 2 warding to himself or a nearby ally for 2 turns. That seems incredibly strong. And then we have the upgraded Through Shot. This is kind of a dilemma here, guys, because I really do like the concept of True Shot. I just don't see it working a whole lot. Now, if we give him speed and we take the trap thing, we could have him just kind of zipping around the map and putting traps in key locations, but it doesn't seem like it does a whole lot of damage. And we do have Tinker, which is kind of a buff, but we've been mainly using him as a range character, so I think we might just have to default to Through Shot. Tinker does sound good, but it is a swift action, so you know, we might actually go with Tinker, because it is a swift action, which means we can use it without it affecting us. So let's do that. Got my back? May not be done fighting, says Dungeon. Arnon emerges rather suddenly from a damp shadow standing before a root-framed tunnel. So you made it. You doubted we would? The old deepest lands lead them into the dark. The earth walls are slimy and black. Streams of water slosh on either side a hastily heaped gravel path. Clods plop from the ceiling. Support beams have clearly been rushed into place. Don't take any offward tunnel. They've been falling in. Deeper in, earth walls give way to granite. The warren rots. The flowing water follows carven channels from the main tunnel to some dark end. When will you abandon this place? Says Elmdrick. Oh no, we can't. Do you want breakfast? Says Arnon. It's mid-afternoon. Ah, but we're not chained to the sun cycle. We have breakfast whenever. It's like 2nd, 3rd, and 4th breakfast. I look absolutely shocked. Arnon shows the way inside a marked passage. A weird smell beckons them through to the other side. Here they are, dear. The badger and the brute, and more to follow. Blah. Well, did you offer them grum? Sure I did. No one wants lukewarm, chewly old grum, I keep saying. It's an interesting world down here, isn't it? As long as it doesn't collapse. Oh ha, adventurers. This is some drunk I know. Yes, I'm Velda. It's said I was born in the basin of a dried caldera to spirits of salt and rock. Does get said a lot, but not actually true. Right, technically it's false. You two are married to each other? We're mostly married. In times of strife, it's nice. This definitely sounds like the bickering of an old married couple. All this is fascinating, of course, but it's not what we're here to learn. The brute speaks reason language. You came because you must defeat the Gorgons, is that right? We were told you knew how. I know what the Gorgons did. Their leader. I learned of him. Ulstrix. Arnon tucks into a bowl of beige mush. Looks like shroomy gruel with some kind of green gold dressing. Ulstrich? We know that name well enough. Yes, Ulstrix raised a great number of his brethren. And then they went to the valley of Godbeast Moatona. And of that great Godbeast, they made pewter. Velda gazes on all attending from beneath the massive horns adorning her face. A scowl twists her already crooked features. Arnon finishes his meal, pulls at his beard, and wipes it on his cowl. Who? Moatona. Moatona is an ancient one, a keeper of balance. The unassailable balance of Moatona keeps all opposing forces of this world in harmony. And because Moatona is dead, that throws off the weather, and the seas, and the peaks. And all will turn into a blue Gorgon soup. Us, the carrots and beans, and you, the onions. So that's why Ulstrix needed his army, to slay a god. Well, what was the point of that spear we bled over? Wasn't that supposed to be the symbol he needed to unite whatever Gorgon's behind his crusade? What matters is this: Moatona cannot die. She's petrified. The reason I called you here is that I've been hoarding a certain restorative spirit, distilled from the roots of the extinct bullflax flower, I call it. Root beer. Medicine? My root beer should be able to restore the great Moatona if you can get it to her. My brewing goddess Velda. Well, assuming that's all true, why us? Don't you have your own lackeys? The deep down some of it is, we're afraid. So our people are made frail. Water's the worst doom. The Gorgon leader is strong and fearless, so too are his hordes. We are too old, slow, I'm scared to die. The Gorgons aren't going to let us do this thing, are they? And do we know where to go? Are we sure reviving this god beast will fix everything, says Dungeon? The badger grows quite asky, but I'll answer all your questions. It appears Dungeon is the badger and Eldrick is the brute. Over breakfast, I'm still hungry. It's salty warm. Velda is true to her word, as Arnon serves up bowls of grum, she draws a serviceable map upon the wall in pale chalk. The food is surprisingly good. Lastly, Velda hands over her healing ale, a single sealed earthenware bottle. Soon, they're on their way again. They carry the hope of all the land and its creatures in one fragile bottle. And it looks like we have no choice but to double up on raccoons now. But who knew that root beer could cure petrification? Who knew? I guess we'll find out if it actually does in the next episode, though. So make sure you guys are tuning in next time. Make sure you drop a like, leave a comment. Let me know what's up. Let me know if I'm making wrong decisions. And I look forward to hearing from you guys and seeing you guys in the next episode. So until then, take care.